We're going to finish out the final 6 problems here. They don't have directions, but I will have explained in class that we're solving for y equals, listing m and b, and then graphing the line on the graph. On the back page here, you'll see a section at the end. We haven't touched this yet, so number 15 through, well, all the number 15s, because the numbering is a little screwy again. These you can skip. Okay, we're not going to do this stuff, and it's not going to be on the quiz, so don't worry about it. However, we do need to know how to solve these equations and graph them. So we're going to be solving for y. Oops. So all the same steps we just did. I'm going to go ahead right now and just circle all of the y's in each of the questions here, just to get this ready to go. Okay. Now this is a negative y. Now we should know by now that if there's no number in front of a variable, that the coefficient is 1. So this is actually negative 1y, which is going to be useful here in a minute. So I'm looking just at that side. Okay. No parentheses, no exponents. We are multiplying times negative 1. No division. We are adding 3x because this is a positive 3x. No subtraction. So the opposite would be to subtract 3x and divide by negative 1. Those are my 2 steps I need to follow to solve this equation. So first thing I'm going to do is subtract 3x from both sides, which will cancel here, leave me with negative 1y equals negative 3x plus 14. We're going to keep this in slope-intercept form, all of these questions, which means the x value goes first and the numerical value goes second. My next step is to divide everything by negative 1. Divide by negative 1. Divide by negative 1. Divide by negative 1. So here it will cancel. Leaves me with only y. Negative 3 divided by negative 1 gives me a positive 3. And 14 divided by negative 1 gives me negative 14. Now this one's going to be a tricky one to graph because my graph only goes up to 10. Okay, so we're not going to graph this one. This is a bad example. Sorry about that. I didn't check it beforehand. Okay, but you will need to solve it in any case. Okay, the next one. Next graph, we're going to do the same thing. We're already looking at where y is. Okay, it's being multiplied by negative 9, and we are adding 3x. So we would subtract 3x and divide by negative 9. So we're going to start by subtracting 3x. Subtract 3x. Okay, this is going to cancel. It gives me negative 9y equals negative 3x plus 27. Okay, that's step 1 done. Step 2 is to divide everything by negative 9. Okay, so we're going to cancel this out here. Leaves me with y equals negative 9 divided by, or sorry, negative 3 divided by negative 9. 2 negatives dividing make a positive, and 3 over 9 reduces to 1/3 x. 27 divided by negative 9 is negative 3. So my slope here is 1/3. My y-intercept is negative 3, and this I can totally graph. So what I'm going to do is I am going to begin with my negative 3's, means I start at the center. I'm going to go down 3 spaces, okay, to negative 3. That's my starting point. Then this tells me my rise over run. My rise is positive 1, so that's up 1. My run is positive 3, so that's right 3. So I'm going to begin at this point, go up 1 and right 3. Up 1, right 3. Up 1, right 3. Okay, so there are my points. Pardon me for a second while I get something to make a straight line with, because I took my ID off already. I'm going to use this index card to make a straight line. That's my line. Next question. Same steps. I'm going to put my PEMDAS down here again, just in case. Okay, do and undo. Looking at this, my y is being multiplied by negative 4y, or negative 4. We are subtracting 8x, and that's it. Those are the only 2 things that are on the same side as the as the y, so I'm going to add 8x to both sides, and I'm going to divide by -4. Start at the bottom, go to the top. So plus 8x plus 8x cancels out here, gives me -4y equals 8x plus 8, because that 8 is positive. Okay, my next step is to divide everything by -4. Divide by -4, divide by -4, cancels here, leaves me with y equals 8 divided by -4 is -2, and 8 divided by -4 again is -2 again. So my slope is going to be -2. My y-intercept is going to be -2 as well. But remember, if we have a whole number as our slope, it's fine. But to graph it, we're going to want to put a 1 underneath it so that we can identify the rise and the run. So what I want to do first is plot this y-intercept. So I'm going to start in the middle. -2 means down 2, right there. Now, -2 for a rise means I'm going to be going downward. +1 means I'm going to the right. So I'm going to start from this y-intercept, go down 2 spaces, and right 1 space. Down 2 spaces, right 1. Down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1. So those are my points. I'm going to use my index card here to make a straight line. And there's my line. Okay, we've got a few more to go. Next one, looking at my do and undo chart. We're looking at this, no parentheses, no exponents. We are multiplying y times 5, so times 5. No division, we are adding 2x. No subtraction, so we go ahead and put our opposites here, -2x, divide by 5, start from the bottom, go to the top. Okay, so we're going to subtract 2x from both sides, which will cancel my 2x's, leave me with 5y equals -2x plus 15. Then we are going to divide everything by 5, which gives me y equals -2/5 x. 15 divided by 5 is +3. So my slope is -2/5. My y-intercept is 3. Start with that b. We're going to start in the middle. Since that b is positive, I'm going to go up 3 spaces and put my y-intercept. Then, if I look here, my rise is -2, which means down 2. My run is +5, which means right 5. So starting at this point, I'm going to go down 2, 1, 2, right 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's my next point. Down 2, right 5. It's going to be right there. Take my index card and make my line. Okay, we have 2 more problems to do, and then we'll be done. Last 2. All right, this one's looks like it's going to be a little bit nicer here. We have 2x plus y equals 0. I'm going to go ahead and circle that y. Circle this y. Ooh, look, that one's already solved for us, even better. So here, the only thing happening to y is it's got a 2x on the same side, so I'm going to go ahead and subtract that 2x from both sides, which gets y equals -2x. I don't need to put +0 because you know that 0 doesn't change anything. However, if I do put a +0, it does match up better with my slope-intercept form, because now m is -2, b is 0. Remember, with our slope, if it's a whole number, we're going to go ahead and put it over 1, just so we can draw the slope on the graph. Okay, my y-intercept is 0, which means I go to the center and I go nowhere. My origin is my y-intercept. -2 for rise means down. +1 for a run means right. So I'm going to start at the origin, go down to right 1, down to right 1, down to right 1. 4 points is plenty. I'm going to use my index card here to draw a straight line. Okay, that's that one. For the next one, it's already solved for y. You don't have to do anything for this one. No solving required. You are going to find m and b. M is going to be 2. B is going to be -2. So we're going to begin with my y-intercept. Go to the center. -2 means down 2. There we go. Okay. Now my slope is a whole number. To make it a fraction, I'm going to put it over 1. So +2 on top means my rise is up 2. +1 on the bottom means my run is right 1. So I'm going to start at my y-intercept, go up 2, right 1, there's a point. Up 2, right 1, there's a point. Up 2, right 1, point. Up 2, right 1, point. We're going to go ahead and graph it. And that's it. That is your review for Friday's quiz. So make sure you check your answers and make sure that you understand what I did. If not, please feel free to ask me questions before the quiz starts. But once it starts, you're on your own. Good luck.